sunflower oil. There, you see it cooking away. That little song means it's ready. Smells so good. Whatever. That's a party dance, man. That is a party dance. Oh, I can't tell you how much I love this pasta. Morning. Well, actually, no, it's good afternoon. It's not very often that I say good afternoon. I'm Stacey, Farmer's Wife Homestead, if this is the first time we're meeting, and welcome back to all my other lovely people who've been around for whatever seems like forever. Anyway, my last video we made the tomato pie, and I used my Thermomix to make the pastry, and I asked you if you wanted to have a little rundown of what actually the Thermomix is, because some people think it's just a fancy blender, but it's not. It's more than that. It's got so many functions. So I thought, well, not everybody has them, not every country has them, but I will give you a rundown and I'll show you what it can do. And yeah, so I've got all these tomatoes, so I thought, well, let's make a tomato relish with it, because it can cook amongst other things, including clean itself up. So we're going to make a recipe in it, and I'll just give you a little rundown of what it can do. And because the Thermomix does all the cooking for me, it's such a hands-off machine, we're going to make that viral pasta recipe. And I've got a lonely bag of penne pasta here, and we're going to use one of the bags of frozen cherry tomatoes that I've popped in there. But instead of feta, I'm not a huge fan of feta, I'm going to use a block of cream cheese. And yeah, we're just going to put a bit of this and a bit of that, and we'll make up our own recipe. So while the Thermomix is making the relish, we will bake that. It's much later on in the afternoon, so we'll have that for dinner tonight. Right, I've got half a red onion here, and I've got about 4 of our garlic cloves. We love garlic, so I don't mind using a little bit more. I've got some sea salt here, some sort of coarse sea salt, and I just want to mince this garlic a little bit more. So I'm popping some salt, some coarse salt on the chopped garlic, and if you get the back of your knife, the abrasiveness of the salt helps to mince the garlic down. So it just helps to macerate that garlic a lot easier, because I love garlic, but I want it to sort of go into the sauce rather than have big chunks. Right, so all my ingredients here. Just going to grab my tomatoes. Might want a little bit more. Nice and tomatoey, and all I did was wash them up, and most of the recipes that I saw online were all done with fresh tomatoes, so I'm giving frozen a go, because I'm hoping that I can have this during the winter and it still feel like a fresh tomatoey kind of pasta. I've been waiting to make this for so long. Okay, so we're going to pop the garlic in next, and I've got a block of cream cheese. Of course, if you don't like cream cheese, you can use the feta that I see they use another cheese called Borson cheese. I have a feeling I've seen it here, but I'm not quite sure. So I buy this brand at the Woolworths. It's one of the few products that I buy now, and it's a good price. It's around $4 something. I'm just going to make some room. This is going to be, well, like I said, it's the first time I've made this, but it'll be quite hands-off, which is great. That in the bottom there, and I've just got some extra virgin sunflower oil, and you can use olive oil as well. And I'm just going to add a little bit more salt. You won't need too much because it was already on the garlic. And then I'm going to add some pepper. I've seen other people add chili flakes, but people don't like chili in this family, so I'm going to leave that out. So I'm just going to throw that into the oven on 180 for about half an hour until the cheese is melted. I'm just going to also put a big pot of water on the boil and cook up that penne pasta. I'm sure you could use any type of pasta. I've even seen spaghetti in some of the recipes that I looked for. I don't have any chicken breast, but I do feel that chicken would be quite nice in this meal, or make it more of a full meal that husband would enjoy. But today's going to be vegetarian. Now just heavily salt your pasta water. Right, we'll get that cooking to al dente. Now let's get down and let me show you just some of the functions of this Thermomix. Okay, so there's the front screen of the Thermomix. This is indicating that it's cold at the moment. When it goes red, it means that this bowl is hot. And then inside the bowl it has these German made, this is a German machine, but it has the really very powerful blades in there. Okay, so there's the screen, and you've got the home function. You've got a recently cooked, hang on, go back, recently cooked, and then I can quickly find a recipe that I've already cooked, and I can just go into it. I've got my recipes, so I've got created collections, I've got baking, beef, breads, cakes, dinner ideas, pastries, salads, soups, pantry ideas, all sorts in there. And you've also got this search function here where you can search up an idea or a recipe. I think it must be coming up to 200,000 recipes worldwide on cookie dough. So just here's some results here. So there's classic yellow cake, baked chicken breast, yogurt cake, Caesar salad, lemon garlic salmon, turmeric lime chicken skewers. There's just, you name it, it can cook it up. It does breads, it can make milks, it makes cheeses, jams, preserves, you name it. So I'm just going to go and see if I can find, I've made a tomato relish in here, but it was a long time ago. Here it is. So let's restart, and then it's start cooking, and it's going to tell us what to do. So place aroma onto, so yeah, you can go through and just follow the directions. So that's what we're going to do now. Right, just looking through that recipe, because it's such a long time since I've made it, I've decided not to do the tomato relish. Sorry if you were looking forward to it now, but I already have a tomato relish recipe and I will link that in the description and somewhere up here. But what I do have is, I want something just a little more hands-off. I've got an open bag of frozen blueberries here, and they're getting quite old now, so I decided what I will do is look for a blueberry jam. And on my phone I've got what's called the Cookie-Doo. Cookie-Doo is the app that you find recipes with and cook it. You don't have to have Cookie-Doo to use this machine, and I really should explain all the different functions, but we'll get this going. Blueberry jam, hopefully they've got a recipe. Yep, blueberry jam. And so it comes up with all the different blueberry things, and so I'm going to add, and I'm going to add it to my week, and cook today. So that's now going to send it to my machine because it's hooked up to my Wi-Fi, and it's sent it to the machine, and now we can just go straight into it and start the jam. So let's start that recipe instead. Okay, so just to go back, so these are the different functions. It's got inbuilt scales so you can weigh things. It's got a sensor that you can put into the oven, into a cake or something, or bread, and it will let you know when it's ready. It can chop, it can mix dough, it's got a turbo so that it can blitz things up like wheat, ice, makes ice cream, all that sort of stuff. It's got a clean, so it can clean itself. It's a blender, an egg boiler, a kettle. It can warm up, it can thicken sauces and make sauces. It's a rice cooker. It can ferment and it makes yogurt. It's a slow cooker, a sous vide machine. It can peel, it can grate, it can slice, and it can spiralize. So yeah, sky's the limit. Whatever you can think about, it can make. It's an incredible machine. Alright, so we're going to cook today my week, and the blueberry jam should be in here. Here we go. Blueberry jam. Start cooking. 16 ounces of blueberries. I need to bash these up a little bit. I usually have it in grams, so I'll have to reset it back to ounces, grams rather than ounces. And you can also do serving sizes as well. Whoop, that's far too much. There we go, that'll do. Just make the one. And sugar. And I'll put just a little bit over because I had a little bit of extra fruit in there. Okay, some lemon juice. And it also can steam, so it's got a special dish that goes on the top that can steam, and I'll show you that because it's going to sterilize the jars for me. Okay, now I'm just going to turn it on, and it's telling me it's got to cook for 30 minutes. So this is the varoma, and that's like the steaming thing, and I'm going to pop 2 jars in there and pop the lid on, and that's just going to heat up the jars and sterilize the jars while this is cooking. And just while the Thermomix is making the jam for me, I am processing more tomatoes for the freezer, while I'm getting literally hundreds every day. And I just go out every 2 days. I find that, again, I've done a huge bag a couple of days ago, so they'll be ready for picking again in the next day or two. And I'm just keeping on top of them like that. And just like that, I've got another big bag of tomatoes ready to process later on when it's not so hot like it is at the moment. So what I might do is try and take off the varoma and try and point the camera in so you can see it in action as well. I'm just going to pop them straight in like that into the freezer. Right, let's see if I can show you inside. There, you can see it cooking away. So, yeah, it's a machine that's completely hands off, and it's great for preserving small batches of food. And I better put this back on there to steam the jars. And it's going to heat that jam up to 175 degrees or 212 Fahrenheit, and as I said, it cooks up for 30 minutes, and then all you have to do is just pour the jam into the sterilized jars, and pop the lids on, and it's done. So yeah, so like I said, it can like make sauces, as I said, yogurt, fermentations, it does really good mashed potato, cooked pasta, it can cook whole meals. Like, yeah, there's like I said, there's just so many different sweets, ice cream, make instant real fruit ice cream is really nice. Yeah, so heaps and heaps of different recipes, and I know that you want me to do more recipes using it, but really it's an appliance that not everybody has, so it's not going to really appeal to very many people. But there's loads and loads of YouTube channels and Facebook and Instagram pages and things like that that devote everything to Thermomix. So this pasta is boiling now, and I think it must have about maybe 15 minutes left in the oven, so I might just check on it. And the other beauty of this machine is I'm going to go and put my knee up for a little bit and have some water while I wait for the jam to cook itself and for the pasta bake to finish going. So I'll see you back soon. Okay, my buzzer just went off for half an hour. It's just about ready, but I want to just give it another 5 minutes. My pasta is ready, so I'm just going to take a cup of the pasta water liquid out before I drain it, because that will help thin the sauce down if it needs it. It's funny because it will help thin it down, but it will also help thicken it because of the starch, so go figure. So I'm just going to put that aside and wait for the rest of the baking to finish, but it's only going to be about another 4 minutes, and then we will pull all of this together. And in the meantime, it's up to temperature, so the top number is the same as the bottom number, and it's got 10.5 minutes left to go, and it's basically just giving it a very slow stir, and then if I wound that all the way up, it would blitz it, and it would just turn it into like juice. So yeah, and see how these have turned red? that's just a warning to let you know that the bowl's now hot. And as you can see, the jars are steaming. Okay, so what else I've grabbed out is I've got some spinach. Now with my spinach, I just buy spinach. I'm going to be putting spinach in my garden shortly. That's hopefully something that I can stop buying in the supermarket. So it's not normally in this viral pasta, but I love spinach, and I think the green would be quite nice in there. And I'm also going to go and grab some fresh basil, and I've got some Parmesan cheese. I'm just going to go and grab that basil now. Oh dear, I had to water my basil. It's a little bit wilty. I'm just going to revive it in some not some hot water, just going to revive it in some cold water. Right, there's our butter. Let's have a look at it. Can't tell you how good this smells. Oh, it smells so good. So you just want to press down on those tomatoes. There's quite a lot of fluid in the bottom here, and that'll be because I used frozen tomatoes, which is fine. So we may not need the what's the word I'm looking for? We may not need the the pasta water. I just had to stop. Somebody turned up. So just going to give it a really good mix. And add that pasta. I'm going to grab the spinach, throw that in now. And I'll start with half of that Parmesan. And that Parmesan will add a bit of saltiness as well that you would get from feta if you'd used feta. Like I said, this would be really nice with what's the word I'm looking for? With chicken. So the the frozen tomatoes work fine, and I think the cream cheese works fine. Probably would like a little bit more pepper, and I'm just going to tear this basil. If you tear it, it's not going to turn black. And a bit more black pepper. It's as easy as that. Let's try this. And the Thermomix has got 2 minutes to go. Right, I'm going to be careful not to try and get a piece of a big tomato. Super, super hot. Oh my goodness. That is divine. Oh, yum. I know something that would be really, really nice in this. Let me take one more bite. Oh, it's not my recipe. Like, I didn't come up with the original idea, but this is a definite shut the front gate recipe. How's that for two recipes in a row? Wow, I love the hit of the fresh basil, the pop of the tomato. Do you know what it needs? I reckon a balsamic reduction just over the top would just elevate it to the next level. And actually, I think I might have some. Right, the machine has just told me it's ready. I did find some rich and sweet glaze with balsamic vinegar. That's what we have over here. I usually make this from scratch myself. If you would like to know how to make your own balsamic glaze, let me know and I will show you how to make it. It's super, super easy. But I'm going to plate up a little bit now and drizzle a little bit of this over the top, because I think this is going to really just bring it to a whole nother level. Some more black pepper. And just a drizzle of this glaze. Next level that. Oh, the smell now is, it's next level. Okay, I can't really do this very dainty. Right, let's see. Oh yes, that is perfect. My taste buds were telling me that it needed that little bit of acidity, even though the tomatoes are acidic. A whole block of cream cheese is so creamy and rich, it needed a different element, and that was it. So let me know if you want to know how to make your own balsamic glaze. I will show you. It's a really quick way of doing it. Oh, this is next level. I will write up this recipe, the recipe that I just made. And if you don't have the balsamic glaze, don't stress about it. But just know that it just takes it to the next level. Oh, oh wow. This is my most favourite pasta dish ever. Whatever. That's a party dance, man. That is a party dance. Oh, I can't tell you how much I love this pasta. Okay, I have to stop eating. It's going to be my dinner. Thermomix is ready. Let's finish this off. Okay, so we have our 2 jars, hot, and the lids. And there's the jam. I can see that that is still far too fluid, so I'm going to add some more sugar and cook it down a bit longer. So I've just added some more in there, more sugar. I'm going to pop this back on here to keep these jars warm. And I'm probably going to process for another 15 minutes. And I'll bring you back when I jar it up. We need that to be at 212, which is what it brought it up to. And then speed 1. Once that is finished cooking for the next 15 minutes, I will jar it up, and then that'll be the jam done. I could tell that it was just a little bit too more liquid. Maybe I needed to add a little bit more lemon juice, because that will help it's a natural pectin that'll help thicken it up, but it's probably because the blueberries were so freezer burnt and they probably had a lot more ice crystals on them than if you had sort of newer blueberries, so that's why I added a little bit more sugar. Traditionally it is fruit to sugar ratio, and it was only 10 ounces of sugar and 16 ounces of fruit, so yeah, I wondered at the time, but anyway, that's all good. That little song means it's ready. It's a bit better, and then you can use the lid as like to pour. I'm just going to, there we go. This one will go into the fridge once it's cooled down because it's not full. Just need to take a rag to the lid and pop the lid on while it's hot, and then the lid will suck down, and then that'll be safe on the shelf for a year, 2 years even. So we'll let those, yeah, so hands off. It's brilliant. And then to wash it, I just put water in there with a bit of dish soap, pop it on the machine, put it on wash mode, and it will wash the bowl for me. Put the lid on, and that part, and clean, and clean itself. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. I am going to go and sit down and eat my early dinner while this is still hot, and it'll be interesting to see if the rest of the family enjoy it. If it had chicken, it would be even better because it would make it, you know, even more filling. Not that that's not filling, it's just, in my opinion, perfect the way it is. And thank you for joining me on today's episode. Any questions about the Thermomix, just let me know down in the comments below. Let me know if you've tried this pasta before. And as I said, I'm going to write this recipe up, and you will find that on the website farmerswifehomestead.com. And yeah, come back and let me know if you try it, because honestly, I don't think I've ever done a party dance in this kitchen before. So yeah, it was incredible. Okay, hope to see you on the next one. Oh, and by the way, the next one is going to be hash browns. I spent all morning trialing recipes and things, and I came up with a recipe that I was happy with. So the next one out will be frozen hash browns. Right, catch you on the next one. Bye for now.